So right now, new polls showing more trouble for President Biden. That's just 14% say his economic agenda helps them. Meanwhile, his disapproval soaring to a record 61%, even higher than Vice President Kamala Harris at 57%. So what do voters think? Let's ask them. Joining us now, our voters panel, independent Ohio voter Kimberly Brown, along with GOP voter and university student Roberto Lagones, and Republican voter and retired NYPD officer Harold Delancey. Thank you all so much for joining the program. Kimberly, I want to start with you. When you look at the economic agenda, it seems like a lot of folks are saying, I mean, that's an overwhelming majority of Americans saying it's not helping them. What do you see?
Well, we know that inflation is one of the major concerns here in America. And we also know that, when inflation occurs, the dollar stays the same, but product and productivity increases.
Mm-hmm.
So because the average American is not really benefiting economically, people are really saddened about what things are going on and how things are happening, at our federal government. And right now, because of that, the Biden administration is in trouble. People are looking for a way out. And at this particular time, people don't see him as being the answer.
Such a good point, Harold. I think the most jarring thing is when you look at the polling now, Kamala Harris has always been less popular than Joe Biden. A lot of people have liked him in the past, liked his personality. But for him to drop lower than Kamala Harris, I don't think there's a bigger message that the American people can send.
I don't think so either. I think it's pretty shocking because one thing that we do know that this will be a Donald Trump and Joe Biden race. Mm-hmm. And as I keep studying is that people are very concerned about who the running partners will be. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, you see in the polls, they're not favorable to Miss Kamala Harris, which in fact is going to cause the Dems to be in trouble. But the other side of this is that people still remember about the 2020 election when Donald Trump lost and what happened on January 6, 2021, that insurrection. So at this particular time, a lot of people, me being an independent, I don't even know if I will vote in this upcoming election. I may be a person that will actually sit this one out. I'm not sure yet.
Harold, let's go to you. What do you think about the economy and what do you think voters, what's on the top of their mind, J6 or the current economic state?
Well, to be very candid, I'm tired of hearing about January 6th. When I watched 3 years of riots, people burning stuff, looting, killing, and the Democratic Party didn't mention it at all. So I'm a little tired with the January 6th narrative. An insurrection, 1,000 people without guns and not taking over a government. So that's a joke.
What do you think about the current economic state, though? Do you think that's going to be a big factor?
Well, I do most of the shopping in my home, and the prices were through the roof. And when I sat down and looked at what they're telling me, inflation was 6%, 8%, 10%. I roughly say for me it was about 35%, easy.
Roberto, you're young. This is probably the time where you're starting to considering buying your new house or your first house. Probably still have student loans to pay back. What's life like for you?
Well, life's been pretty interesting. Being born and raised in a Hispanic community, we already have our struggles. And then coming up from Miami to New York has definitely been a change. Seeing a tuition increase at my university of 10% in the past 3 years has been really hard, on top of growing food prices and gas prices. Again, especially New York City has definitely been a challenge, not only for me, but other families here as well.
Yeah. Listen, Roberto, I was there a few years ago. I hope things get better. We're going to be following this election the entire year. Thank you all so much for joining the program, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.